Hey folks, I've never spoken about totem animals on the internet before, but I figured today is the day. I have a story for you that I want to share, and I think even if you don't care one bit about totem animals, you might find this story interesting. So without further ado, today I had to take out some recycle and I set out to do that at my home. Literally, I went outside to take out the recycle. I had a couple trips to do to bring it back and forth to the container. So I went outside, and as I'm coming back from my first trip, I realized that I see a hawk up in the sky. And it's a red-tailed hawk. Once I was able to see the feathers, I could identify it. And then I very quickly see that there's actually two hawks, two red-tailed hawks. Then I realized, given the time of year, with it being spring migration, that's likely a breeding pair that's just settled into the area. And then I realized that's probably the same breeding pair from last year, and that they look bigger and they look healthy, and I felt happy for those hawks. So this all happens within, maybe a second or two, and now I'm still busy trying to get the second trip of recycle. So grab the recycle, looking to the sky, and this hawk keeps checking me out and kind of following me. And that's not the first time something like that's happened, but this was very overt, and I found it interesting. So I'm keeping an eye to the sky, and I'm checking over my shoulders to look at the hawk, and the hawk's flying along with me and checking over its wing, its shoulder, to look at me every now and then. So we're maintaining this kind of contact back and forth as I make my trips back to and from the recycle bin, right? And as I'm making my last trip, I see the hawk disappear behind the tree line. And I figure, okay, that's maybe he's dipping out, right? And I say he because the other hawk stayed towards what I think was the nest area, and that one was larger. Anyways, assumptions aside, I turned around and went back towards the house, and the hawk popped out with a noise. I mean, not just popped out from the tree line behind me, but came out screaming. So the common sound bite that most people associate with eagles in film is actually the screech of a red-tailed hawk. Bald eagles actually sound a lot more like a seagull or something like that. Red-tailed hawks make several different noises. Some of them sound more like whistles and things, but this in particular is a screech. So you've heard it before in movies, and I heard it today right behind me. So I look up, and it's flying right above me, and really low. I mean, it just kept getting lower and lower and lower, and closer to me as I see more and more of the colors in its feathers, despite the bright day. And then I just got this overwhelming urge to sprint with the hawk. I kind of got the feeling this hawk was playing with me, like playing along with me, kind of like you would with a dog or something. And the most interesting thing happened. I sprinted with a hawk, and it screeched the entire way. So I sprinted down the drive, picking up speed, checking over my shoulder, but I didn't really have to because it kept screeching, and it was picking up speed, flying, and I was sprinting, and I broke into a full sprint, and I'm looking up, and it's screeching and screaming, and then I get to the end of the drive, I look up, and we're both right there. And it kind of circles back around to kind of give me a look. And I swear that hawk nodded at me and turned off and went away. Now, it's worth telling you that I like hawks. And I did before this encounter, but now I think I like them even more. You can make of that encounter what you will, but I think it's fair to say that that's kind of cool, and I sure had a lot of fun. I just really wanted to share it with the world. stuff like this happens. And if you're into stuff like that, then maybe it'll happen to you. So if I can figure out how to, I'll throw up a very short clip of this hawk that I caught right before it left at the end of this video as some semblance of proof. But honestly, I don't need proof. I mean, that was just amazing. So I hope something amazing happens to you today. And as always, be gifted. Stay blessed.